I've worked with the best coaches and players in the nation, in the world. So stay tuned while we discuss the drag bunt. Now, before we get started, I want to show you how to advise your players to be cautious on the bases. And we'll do that with the gas tank analogy. Spell that right. Okay. So, if your players are on the bases, let's consider a tank of gas being full and empty in relation to how many outs we have. So, if the gas tank is full, we're in favor of the game. There's 0 outs, and perhaps we're winning, okay? By a large margin. So by 3 or more, okay? You have a full tank of gas. If your gas tank is empty or a quarter full, we're going to say there's 2 outs, and we are either losing or it's a close game. With that being said, and remember, with 2 outs, you're always going to do 2 bases, and we'll get into that later. But with that being said, if your tank is full, we're running more, okay? Because we have more gas, we're going further, okay? So with a full tank, your players are going to run and be aggressive. With an empty tank, if you're losing or the game is close, your players are going to be more conservative on the bases, and that's with their own discretion, okay? So, does this make sense? It does make sense to me. All right, so just to finish up, we got the gas tank analogy. You can actually tell your players the same strategy and they'll understand, okay? So be aggressive on a full tank. Be aggressive, okay? If your gas tank is empty or getting closer, you're losing or the game is close, we want to rely more on the coaches to direct us. In that case, be more conservative. All right, here comes the drag bunt. Let's get into the right-handed drag bunt. This play is a must-have in your toolbox as a coach. Now remember, this play, the drag bunt, the righty drag bunt for a base hit, is designed more for your quicker players, but can gain good results from players that have good softball IQ or high, and they can bunt. So let's get into it. So we have the righty drag bunt. It can be lefty as well, although a lot of your lefties will have private coaching. But it is similar but quite different actually on the left side. Righty drag bunt. Okay, you'll see why it's called drag. So here, this is a bunt for a base hit, okay? So this is going to be a base hit, is your goal, okay? Your goal for your players to get a base hit. If you're just moving your runners with the small game, of course we'll use the sacrifice, okay? So the goal here is the base hit. And then, coaches, this is quite important. When you get your season going, we teach at Happy Dugout you want to give those signs out right away, okay? And in that time you give the signs out, tell your group of players who is designated as to be the quickest players, or at Alabama, Coach Patrick Murphy called them the green light girls. So with that being said, organize your players and tell them, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're the quickest players on our team, and you're in a special group called the green light girls or the fast group. And if you're a baseball coach watching, then you can tailor it to that. Okay, so you want to pick a group of players that are your fastest. And if you have an outlier players, okay. If you have an outlier player like I talked about that's really athletic, or she's not the quickest but she can lay down a good bunt, let her know too, hey, you're in there because you know how to bunt and your softball IQ is way high. And the other players listening will hear this stuff and want to get into that team on a team. Okay, moving on. So we got the righty drag bunt. Remember, your goal is for a base hit the whole time that we discuss this, okay? Now think about our next point, which is how could your players most effectively get on base? Where on the field should they bunt a surprise bunt? Remember, the drag bunt is a quick movement, so your defense is going to be caught off guard by this, okay? And that's also another goal, is catch them off guard, okay? So where on the field, you want to, in order to get that base hit, that goal, that's something that a softball player with high IQ is going to see. Oh, the corners are back, so let's go ahead and lay down the drag bunt. It's quick and sneaky at the last minute, okay? So we want to go down, always down, first and third base line. Okay, and remember the line, because the closest you can get it to the foul line, the better, okay? Sometimes players will think it's going foul, let it go, they just won't touch it, okay? It's an easy base hit, and in the book it counts as a single, all right? So to do that, we'll keep it close to the foul line on the corners. And I guess we can call this placement. Okay, placement. Close to the foul line. Or here's another good idea. You want to push it past the pitcher. And why? So I'll call it PPP, okay? And that'll help your players to remember PPP, push it past the pitcher, okay? Why do we want to do that? Right, okay, so remember the second baseman, here you have your second base, your first base. Your second baseman here is going to cover first. Any team that's quite organized will have this bunt set up in place. So we want to get that defense frazzled, okay? Because your first baseman is going here to get the bunt. All right? So close to the foul line or push it past the pitcher. Those are the two places you want to get your placement. Now I already talked about this point. About this bunt is designed, and remember there's 12 signs in the playbook that I will be reviewing. And oops. So this is just one of the 12 ways to help you all score runs. I prefer to cater more to the rec